Have you ever had that feeling that everyone around you has brilliant ideas for making money while you stand there looking at the bank account and thinking, why I never think of anything like that? Have you ever wondered how some people manage to identify investment opportunities that no one else sees, or how they create businesses from nothing that turn into real money machines? If you believe that you are not born with the gene of creativity, if you think that only the chosen can have brilliant ideas that generate wealth, I have news that will completely change your perspective on money and opportunities. Science has found that financial creativity is not a gift. It's a skill that can be awakened in anyone. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to make it happen in your life. In the next few minutes, you will find out why your mind is programmed not to see money opportunities, how millionaires have developed the ability to see what others don't see, and most importantly, the practical method that will awaken your creative brain to identify and create your own sources of income. If you are tired of seeing opportunities passing in front of you without being able to take advantage of them, stay with me, because this may be the most transformative video you will watch this year.
Let me begin by debunking one of the biggest lies you've ever been taught about creativity and money: that only a few special people can come up with ideas that generate wealth. This belief is not only false, but it's also extremely detrimental to your financial potential. Modern neuroscience has proven that we're all born with the same creative potential, but what happens is that throughout life, our brains are conditioned to function automatically and repetitively. It's as if you had a powerful creative muscle, but it atrophied because no one taught you how to exercise it properly. Think about it. When you were a child, you invented games out of thin air, created fantastical stories, and found ingenious solutions to simple problems. This ability hasn't disappeared. It's simply been suppressed by an educational and social system that values conformity over originality. The problem is that the world of business and investing rewards exactly the opposite. It rewards those who can think differently, who see possibilities where others see problems, who can connect dots that seem disconnected. The good news is that this ability can be reactivated, and when it does, you literally start to see money opportunities where you previously only saw obstacles. It's like putting on special glasses that reveal a world of financial possibilities that was always there, but you couldn't see.
Here's something that will shock you. Neuroscientists studied the brains of millionaire entrepreneurs and found that they are no more intelligent than the average person. What's different about them are specific neural patterns that make them process information uniquely. While most people see a problem and think, how complicated, a millionaire's brain automatically asks, how can I turn this into a money-making opportunity? This difference isn't genetic, it's the result of specific mental training. It's as if they've reprogrammed their brains to be financial opportunity detectors. Let me tell you about Carlos, a friend of mine who was an accountant and always considered himself a person with no creativity whatsoever. For years, he complained that he could never think of ways to get out of his job. One day, while doing the accounting for a small business, he noticed that the owner was spending a fortune on complicated and inefficient management software. Instead of simply doing the work and leaving, Carlos had a different perception. What if I created a simpler, cheaper version of this software? In 6 months, he developed a solution that now generates over $50,000 in revenue per month, serving small businesses that couldn't afford expensive solutions on the market. What changed in Carlos's mind? He learned to ask the right question at the right time. Instead of accepting problems as givens, he began to question them as opportunities in disguise. Now I'm going to reveal the 3 invisible barriers that are preventing you from coming up with creative money-making ideas and how to break each one. The first barrier is what I call expert syndrome. You believe you can only make money doing what you already know how to do well. This belief keeps you trapped in a tiny mental box, when in fact, the greatest financial opportunities lie precisely at the intersection of different areas of knowledge.
Mark Cuban, an American billionaire, made his first fortune selling software, even though he knew nothing about programming. He simply identified a need in the market and found someone who could create the technical solution. The second barrier is fear of judgment. You don't share your financial ideas because you're afraid people will think they're silly or impossible. But here's the truth no one tells you. The ideas that seem the silliest at first are often the ones that generate the most money later. Uber seemed like an absurd idea when it launched. Who would get into a stranger's car? Today, it's worth billions. The third barrier, and perhaps the most destructive, is what I call the creative scarcity complex. You believe there are few good opportunities in the world and that if you don't seize a specific one, you've lost forever. This mindset leaves you desperate and anxious, killing the very mental state necessary for creativity to flourish. The truth is, we live in a world of infinite opportunity. You just need to train your brain to recognize it.
Now I'm going to teach you the practical method I use with my clients to awaken financial creativity in anyone, regardless of background or experience. The first step is what I call frustration collection. For a week, write down every time you or someone close to you complains about something, no matter how small. This app is confusing. It's so hard to find a good professional for this. There should be an easier way to do that. Every frustration is a business opportunity in disguise. James Dyson created a vacuum cleaner empire because he was frustrated that all existing models lost suction over time. Sarah Blakely became a billionaire because she was frustrated with her pantyhose that always ripped or malfunctioned. Your list of frustrations is literally a list of golden opportunities waiting to be transformed into profitable solutions. The second step is the unlikely connection. Take two completely different areas of your life or knowledge and force connections between them. For example, what does cooking have to do with technology? The answer might be an app that teaches recipes through augmented reality. What does gardening have to do with personal finance? Perhaps a system that uses planting metaphors to teach investing. The greatest financial innovations in history were born from these unlikely connections. The third step is the mental prototype. Instead of trying to create the perfect idea in your head, start small and test quickly. If you have an idea for a service, test it manually with a few customers before creating an app. If you have a product in mind, sell it first and produce it later. Financial creativity isn't about having the perfect idea, but about having the courage to test imperfect ideas and improve them based on real market feedback.
The fundamental difference between people who are always waiting for opportunities and those who create their own opportunities lies in a simple shift in perspective. Stop being just a consumer and start being a creator of solutions. When you go to the supermarket and see a huge line, the consumer thinks, "What a pain, it takes so long." The creator thinks, "How could I solve this line problem for the supermarket owner?" When you use an app and get annoyed with some feature, the consumer simply complains. The creator thinks, "How could I create a better version of this?" This mindset shift is like changing the lenses in your glasses. Suddenly, you start to see the world as a place full of problems, waiting for creative solutions, and each solution is a potential source of income. Let me tell you about Anna, a teacher who always said she had no business sense. She was frustrated because she couldn't find teaching materials that truly engaged her teenage students. Instead of simply complaining, she decided to create her own materials, using memes and references that young people understood. Other teachers began asking to use her materials, so she created an online platform to sell her teaching resources. Today, she earns more as an educational content creator than she did as a teacher. The key was to stop accepting the problem as immutable and start seeing it as an opportunity to create value for others who shared the same frustration. As Albert Einstein said, "We cannot solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them." Your financial creativity awakens when you change the kind of questions you ask of the world.
There's one mental quality that definitively separates people who generate wealth
from those who only dream of it. Active curiosity about how money works in the real world. While most people see a successful business and think, "How lucky am I? I wish I had that." Financially creative people ask different questions. How exactly did they get customers? What was the initial investment? What problems did they have to solve? How did they price the product? This curiosity isn't passive, it's investigative and action-oriented. It's like being a wealth detective, always trying to understand the mechanisms behind other people's success so you can apply those principles to your own life. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, once said that he developed his investment genius, not because he was born special, but because, as a child, he was obsessed with understanding how companies really worked inside. He read financial reports like other children read comic books. You don't need to become obsessed like Buffett, but you do need to develop this structured curiosity about income opportunities. When you see someone making money in a way you don't understand, instead of feeling envious or dismissing their success, make it a personal case study. The more you understand the patterns behind wealth creation, the more your brain becomes naturally creative in identifying and creating those patterns in your own life. Financial creativity is, in fact, pattern intelligence applied to the world of money.
I want you to reflect on something profound. How many opportunities to change your financial life have passed you by without you even realizing it? How many times have you seen a problem and simply accepted it instead of thinking, how could I solve this and still make money from the solution? The truth is, creativity to generate income isn't some mysterious superpower that some people have and others don't. It's a mental skill that can be developed by anyone willing to change the way they process information and opportunities. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't have to have a Harvard degree. You just need to be willing to look at the world through different lenses. Lenses that see possibilities where others see only problems. Your current financial situation isn't the result of your lack of creativity, but of a lack of training in using the creativity you already possess. It's like having a rough diamond and not knowing how to polish it. The diamond has always been there, waiting to shine. Starting today, every frustration you feel, every problem you encounter, every difficulty you observe can become the seed of an idea that changes your financial life forever. The only difference between you and someone who is already living off their creativity is that they decided to start. They decided to try. They decided they deserved more than accepting the situation as it is.
If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you recognizes that there's untapped potential waiting to be awakened. You're not watching this video by accident. You're here because the time has come to stop being just an observer of other people's prosperity and start creating your own financial success story. Remember, every wealthy person you admire was once just like you today. Someone who had more dreams than accomplishments, more willpower than resources. The difference is that at some point they decided to trust in your ability to create valuable solutions for the world. Your financial creativity isn't dormant because you're not good enough. It's dormant because no one ever taught you how to awaken it. But now you know. Now you have the tools. Now you understand that you don't have to wait for magical inspiration or a perfect opportunity to fall from the sky. You can create your own opportunities by being curious about problems, connecting seemingly disconnected ideas, and having the courage to test imperfect solutions. The world is full of people waiting for someone to solve their problems creatively and efficiently. Why can't that person be you? Your journey to financial freedom through creativity begins the moment you decide you deserve more than living solely off the fruits of others' labor. You have the right to reap the fruits of your own creativity, and the world needs the unique solutions that only you can create.
If this video sparked something within you, if you felt it was time to stop being just a consumer and start being an opportunity creator, leave a comment telling me what was the last frustration you felt could be transformed into a business opportunity. Your answer could be exactly the inspiration someone else needs to begin their own journey of financial creativity. And if you want to continue developing this creative mindset to generate income, if you want to learn more practical strategies to identify and seize opportunities that are invisible to most people, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because what I'm sharing here isn't just motivational theories, it's proven mental tools that can literally change your relationship with money and opportunities. Always remember, you don't have to be different from who you are to be financially successful. You just need to use the creativity you already possess differently. Your next big idea is closer than you think. It might be hidden in the next frustration you feel. See you in the next video, and until then, keep your eyes open for the opportunities that are waiting for someone as creative as you to discover them.